Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ksenia and I make videos for people who, like myself, are going through the family immigration process. I'm not an immigration attorney. My videos are based on publicly available information, my own experience, and the experience of my subscribers, and the purpose of my channel is to give you guys the confidence to go through this process completely on your own. Today I wanted to make an updated video on the advance parole document for adjustment of status applicants. I'm sure that you have already seen a couple of videos and are familiar with the fact that advance parole is a travel document that allows you to travel outside the United States temporarily while your adjustment of status, in other words, your green card application, is still processing. A lot of applicants for adjustment of status fall out of status while they wait for their I-485 to be approved, which is why advance parole is, in theory, a very helpful document in helping you travel back to your home country, perhaps to see your family, while you're waiting for this entire process to complete. But that is only in theory, and we will talk about it in the later part of this video. If you're wondering how to fill out the form I-131 correctly, I have a very detailed step-by-step guide on this form, which I will link in the top right corner of this video as well as under this video, and you can also find it on my channel. Firstly, however, I would like to discuss what advance parole is and is not. First, advance parole is a type of application that can be submitted at the same time of you filing your I-485 form or at a later date with a copy of your I-485 receipt notice. Advance parole is a document for which you should apply even if you currently hold an active visa to the United States. Once you apply for adjustment of status, you are not permitted to leave the United States until you either have an approved advance parole document or have your green card on hand. For example, even if you currently have a 10-year multiple entry visitor visa, that doesn't mean that you can safely leave the United States after applying for adjustment of status and come back at any time. There are only very few exceptions for those who currently hold an active L or H visas. Next, advance parole is an optional application. However, different force majeure situations might happen, which might result in you needing an advance parole. So in any situation, it doesn't really hurt to apply for advance parole at the same time as your application for adjustment of status. And finally, advance parole is a separate document from the employment authorization. Within the past year and a half, USCIS has announced that they will no longer be processing the advance parole and the employment authorization documents together, previously known as combo cards. Currently, USCIS is prioritizing employment authorization documents, which you can receive by filing the form I-765 with your adjustment of status application. And if your travel document is approved, you will receive a separate letter, not a separate card, which will serve as your advance parole in order to be able to enter back in the United States. Now, let's talk about what advance parole is not. Advance parole is not a visa to another country. Until you become a U.S. citizen with an actual U.S. passport on hand, you must follow the international travel and visa requirements between your current country of citizenship and any countries that you're planning to visit. Next, an advance parole document is not a travel document for asylees and refugees, although the refugee travel document application is also submitted through the form I-131. So if you currently hold an asylum status and you decide to apply for adjustment of status, applying for advance parole doesn't mean that you won't be violating the terms of your asylum status after leaving the United States. Asylum holders must apply for a document known as a refugee travel document, which will serve in place of your country of origin's passport in order to be able to travel. So that is something you have to keep in mind, even if you are applying for adjustment of status on any other basis. And finally, the advanced parole application is not available online for adjustment of status applicants and must be filed by mail. Let's finally talk about the processing times for this form. And unfortunately, as I mentioned earlier, for USCIS, advanced parole is not a priority. So that means that advanced parole is probably one of the lowest documents on the list of processing times. You can be waiting for an extremely long time. In a lot of cases, the kind of processing times that I see varies somewhere between 9 months to even a year and a half. Once you receive your green card, even if your advanced parole document has not yet been processed, you can now use your green card in order to travel outside and return back to the United States. Many wonder how to expedite the advanced parole processing, and USCIS is very strict, and they accept very few cases to expedite the advanced parole. You have to have a life or death situation. Unfortunately, the only way to do it at this time is to call directly the USCIS contact center. And as many of you know, it might take an extremely long time to even get a hold of a real person to speak with. However, in order to request an expedited processing for advanced parole, that is something that you have to do. In a case where advanced parole is processing too long and you are in a life or death situation where you have to travel immediately, you can utilize the new online USCIS tool to schedule an InfoPass appointment for emergency advanced parole with USCIS with your local field office. In the case where you apply for an emergency advanced parole, however, you will have to fill out a brand new I-131 form and submit a filing fee. In addition, your emergency advanced parole will not last as long as a typical advanced parole document, which means they can decide to give it to you for as little as 2 weeks and up to 1 month. I hope that you found this video useful. Please let me know if you have any additional questions. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I hope to see you guys in my next videos. Bye!